Welcome to the Sunday Stoic Podcast.
Prudentia,
justice,
justitia,
temperance,
temperantia,
courage.
fortitudo.
Applying ancient philosophy to modern life, this is the Sunday Stoic.
Welcome to the Sunday Stoic Podcast. This is Steve coming to you from Conway, Arkansas. In my living room behind me are my son Charles and my wife Chrissy working on a puzzle. Charlie, you want to say hi? Hi. You like to sing the Sunday Stoic theme song. Can you sing it real quick? Da-da. Come on closer to the microphone, bub. No. Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. Can't control events, so you just roll with it. He hums it from time to time, which is kind of fun. All right. So this week, putting this episode together right before I need to release it because life is crazy. But I hope you are well. I've been teaching. I've been practicing my philosophy kind of in my head day to day, but I have not been good at doing kind of ritualistic practice like, oh, I'm going to journal now. I'm going to meditate now. I'm going to do the view from above now. Something I've constantly struggled with. Almost need like a Sunday Stoic church break, like the Church of Stoicism, where you are forced to break away from your normal life and ensure that you're engaging in your philosophy. But I know that many of you see this podcast as a way of doing that, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate those who have reached out to me and said hi, and you can do the same at sundaystoic@gmail.com. Just shoot me an email, and I will do my best to write back. My replies are often way shorter than the emails I get, but I'm just not wordy when it comes to typing. I should send you an audio clip, I guess. That would probably be better. This week, we're going to continue with the readings of the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. Marcus, in this week's readings, is going to basically reflect on some basic Stoic principles, the idea of change, that whatever happens, it's part of the universe, and that ultimately what we need is our reason and our ability to interpret things, and that will help us to follow the road to progression towards, hopefully, sagehood. The Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, Book 5, number 13 and 14. My being consists of matter and form, that is, of soul and body. Annihilation will reach neither of them, for they were never produced out of nothing. The consequence is that every part of me will serve to make something in the world, and this again will change into another part through an infinite succession of change. This constant method of alteration gave me my being, and my father before me, and so on to eternity backward. For I think I may speak thus, even though the world be confined with certain determinate periods. Number 14. Reason and the reasoning faculty need no foreign assistance, but are sufficient for their own purpose. They move within themselves, and they make directly for the point in view. Wherefore, act in accordance with them are called right, for they lead along the right road. All right, so how do we interpret what we've read today? The way I interpret what he's saying in 13 is to remind himself that he is part of the universe as a whole. The universe gave rise to him. To the universe he will return. Nothing is really lost in this process. And ultimately, his job is to serve the world, to do something in the world, and to make use of the time he has. And he just needs to remember that the way the way he was formed, where he came from, where he is going, is the same thing that happened to his dad, the same thing that happened to his grandfather, etc., all the way back, as he says, through eternity backward. Lastly, he says, I think this is the way it works, except for the universe is kind of punctuated by determinate periods. And what he means by that, I think, is the Stoics thought that every once in a while, the universe was formed anew. There was a giant conflagration. That's the word. Where everything is engulfed in fire, and kind of like the phoenix, the universe rises again and starts over. Although I think it's my opinion, or it's my uninformed belief, that they thought things would repeat the same way they had the previous time. But I don't know if the universe could do something different when it started over. I think it would follow the same basic pattern again, but I'm not completely sure on that. Something worth looking into. We should have a academic Stoic on here to tell us. In number 14, he says reasoning, or reason, which the Stoics often think of reason as almost, divine, right? And the reasoning faculty, that's what you have, that kind of, it's like your radio that picks up reason, lets you make use of it. So reason and the reasoning faculty need nothing else, need no assistance from outside. They are sufficient for what they're there for, to make enlightened choices, basically. They work on their own, and they have a goal, and that goal is to make a decision, to make informed decisions, and ultimately all these decisions, hopefully we make beautiful choices, as Epictetus says. Beautiful choices make for a beautiful life. So these choices help us to make decisions and to correct when we go off course. And therefore, it is said that when we act in accordance with reason, when we use our faculty of reason, it is right, and because it leads us to the right road, the most logical road, the road that divine providence itself would have chosen for us. So Marcus, in these two readings, is reminding himself that everything changes, including himself, that ultimately nothing is lost. He will return to the universe just as his fathers have done, and someone new will come in his stead, probably built out of some of the same parts that made him. So ultimately, all is well. And also, he reminds himself of the power of reason, something the Stoics thought very highly of, and of our faculty to use reason. And when we follow that faculty, when we make good choices, when we try to resist temptation to do other things, we are making progress down the right road, the road towards sagehood. So I hope you'll join me and help pick me up when I fall down, because I'm usually laying in the ditch on the right road to reason rather than actually strolling along in the right direction. So I could use a little help along the way. That's the Cosmopolis. We need to help each other out till we get to that finish line, sagehood. And I don't think anyone's ever made it to the finish line, but we'll get as far as we can. So if you have any questions out there, shoot me an email, sundaystoic@gmail.com. I hope you enjoy the show. Get a little bit out of it. I know I'm not the most polished Stoic podcast, but I speak from the heart, and I hope you get something out of this episode. And I hope you'll shoot me an email. Let me know you're listening. Let me know where you're listening from. I just find that fascinating to hear where people are listening in from, whether it be here in Arkansas or a couple states away, or in Nepal, or somewhere else that I would love to see one day. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great week. Seize the day. Put this stuff to work. Make progress down the road. And remember that we are a part of the universe. Nothing will be lost. Nothing is gained. Nothing is lost. All is well. And as it should be. Carpe diem.